So lately I've been talking about setting your goals in how you can achieve your financial freedom with multifamily. And I've said it. So let me reiterate what I said at that time. I said, in order for you to say you want to start investing in multifamily, an individual decision. That is to say that what applies to you might not apply to others. Financial freedom is personal. That is, whatever is your freedom number does not mean that that is going to be my freedom number and all that. So that is the first thing that you need to realize. What is my freedom number? Whatever that is, I work my way backward. I will do a reverse engineering at that point and start breaking it down for me to achieve my goal. So why do people consider multifamily as a vehicle to achieving financial freedom? And before I go to that, I'm going to say this first. First of all, financial freedom is a personal journey. That is, whatever is applicable to you might not be applicable to me. So my financial freedom might be 100,000 a month, and for someone else it might just be 5,000 a month. That's it. So depending on that, that is what will determine what kind of investment and why you should invest. So for example, for someone like me, assuming my financial freedom is I want to be having 50,000 a month, why do I think that multifamily is that vehicle that will lead me to that? The reason why multifamily is the vehicle that can lead you to financial freedom is not far-fetched. If you check my last video, you'll see that I've done some differences between investing in the IRAs and the 401ks, and also I've also done some difference between investing in multifamily versus stock exchange. I've also done a video about investing in multifamily versus investing in single family, and those were intentional videos. And the reason why I did that was to make you understand that yes, everything that I mentioned are all investments, but looking for a long-term goal, because we don't want to do things that will end with us and will not pass on to our family. I remember I did a video when I was explaining how my father gained wealth in the US, but after he died, we lost everything, and we literally had to start from ground zero. Starting from ground zero is a very difficult thing, especially when you know that you achieved a particular level and you had to lose it all. And that's when I decided that sustainability of wealth is very, very important. So that is why I believe that multifamily is the vehicle for you to transfer generational wealth to your kids. So let me explain why I believe that multifamily is that vehicle that everyone should start investing in compared to other investments. Full disclosure, I do not invest in stock because it does not give me the kind of financial freedom that I need. I do not invest in IRAs and 401ks because that is a no-no already for me because of obvious reasons. If you want to know why, go to my YouTube video, which is Blue Ocean Multifamily Group, to see why I rather prefer investing in multifamily than a single family. So going back to what I was saying, why is multifamily regarded as the vehicle to achieving generational wealth? And one of the reasons is because investing in multifamily assets has proven over time to build equity. That is, when you buy a property in a year, over time, in between 3 to 10 years, the property will tend to appreciate. Literally, and that is because multifamily is based on performance. So it means that the more I put in more effort, I'm able to increase my income and I'm able to reduce my expenses, and I'm able to have the right property management company on ground because they're the ones that will help me execute those things. The more I'm able to increase the equity on that property. That is one of the reasons why multifamily can be regarded as one of the vehicles of building generational wealth. Compare this to a single family. So let's take a little look at single family. Why I believe that that is not the best, although that can build generational wealth, but that's not the best vehicle. The reason why single family has some limitations is because one, single family is based on comparables. That is, it's not based on performance like multifamily. Multifamily, depending on the operator and depending on the property manager and some factors on ground, those things are determined by performance. But for a single family, it's just really, I can do as much as I want to do, make my house a flying house, do whatever I need to do. My family will not be above the value of the comparables in that market. So for example, if the market is saying that the values of the houses in that market is 500, then my house will be 500, will be around the range of 500. But multifamily is not that way. So that is one of the limitations that you can have if you're investing in a single family. You are limited to the comparables in that market. But for multifamily, you are not limited to the comparables in that market. Based on performance and every other thing being equal, you can build your equity. One of the reasons why multifamily can be regarded as one of the vehicles of building financial freedom is because of leverage and pay down debt. So let me explain what that is. For multifamily, you literally might not need any money. And if you want to know how that is applicable able, go to my video. So let me just give you a summary about it. You can literally bring investors in and buy down a very expensive property without having a single dime in it. Or you can put down a little amount of money and you, with a collaboration of some investors, can also buy down a property. But for a single family, it's literally very, very difficult for you to get investors to invest in a single family. One of the reasons is because of the returns on it, except if it's a fix and flip. Yes, if it's a fix and flip, that's a different discussion. But if it's for a renter, like a multifamily renter, then it might be difficult for you to get investors to gather money to invest in one single family that is going to give them a very minimal return on investment. Difference in that is that for multifamily, you can have leverage. That is, I can decide not to put in my money and have investors bring in the money and we all buy the property down and have different ownership splits on it. Or I can put in a little of my money, preserving my equity, and whereby getting investors to invest in that property and we all buying it and having different forms of ownership on it. So that is one very fantastic thing about it. That is, I can preserve my money and use other people's money to scale. So for example, if you're buying a 500 unit single family, you're going to put down between 20 to 30% down if it's an investment property. For a multifamily, imagine me purchasing a $24 million or $25 million property. I might just need to invest $50,000 and have other people raise the down payment, get the bank to fund the rest, and we can purchase that big property. So that is one beautiful thing about it. So the next one is the pay down debt. I'm going to explain it from two different perspectives. That is from the single family and from the multifamily. So the pay down debt, you find out that why multifamily can be regarded as a way for you to build generational wealth is because your tenants actually pay down the loan, that is the mortgage on that property. And the good thing is that in 100 units, if I have about 10 tenants living from the 100 unit, that might not break the bank. I should be able to still pay my mortgage on that property. But consider having a single family and you have only one tenant, and that tenant just one day wakes up and says, I'm relocating, I have to move, I have to break my lease. It might take you time to bring in somebody else to fill in. So a vacancy in a single family can affect your pay down amount or your mortgage payment. But a vacancy in a multifamily might necessarily not affect that. So another good thing about that is that the money that is collected from the renters will be used to pay down your mortgage, whereby increasing your equity. That is one way multifamily is very outstanding compared to other forms of investment. I don't even want to talk about the 401ks or the IRAs in investing, because those ones, you can't even use other people's money. You have to use your money to do that. And there's no way of you getting income that will pay down the money that you've used. You don't have those kind of benefits in those kind of investments. You have to use your money and invest and get your returns. But this one, I'm able to use other people's money and literally not have to pay it out of my pocket, have my tenants pay it down and still have good ownership. Not just having good ownership, it will consistently build my equity, my ownership on that property. So as much as I'm able to pay down my debt on that property, I'm able to build more equity. This is a very fantastic, I cannot overemphasize why multifamily is literally very outstanding compared to other forms of investment. Another reason how you can build generational wealth using multifamily is through passive investing. So let me explain to you how that works. So with multifamily, after you've gotten income, you've paid down your operational expenses. Your operational expenses are your utility bill, your insurance, your taxes, your repairs and maintenance. Those things fall under the operational expenses. After paying that, you're also paying your lender, your mortgage. Once you do that, the remaining part of it now becomes cash flow. Multifamily gives you the ability to have cash flow. Let me compare this also to single family. So single family, literally the same process, but the difference with it is that a vacancy in a single family can just affect your cash flow. So there's a tendency you might not have or make cash flow in a single family compared to a multifamily. So for a single family, if my tenant leaves, there's no cash flow. Secondly, even if they've been paying me and I've been accumulating money for some years and they decide to leave maybe after 1 year or 2 years, all the profit I've gotten might be used to do a renovation on that property. I've explained that to you when we had a tenant rent our 1.2 million single family in California. We were paying $5,900 for rent monthly and our mortgage was $5,400 and our profit on it was literally around $500, between $400 to $500. But any repair, I remember doing during their stay, we had to change the HVAC. That cost us about $6,900. So that was literally almost our entire 1 year profit. And that was not what even broke the bank for us. When the tenant left, we had to do a renovation that cost us about $12,000. I think between $12,000 to $15,000. So do the estimate in your head, and you find out that that was not worth it for us. For a multifamily, I'm able to do all this regardless if I have a tenant leaving or have repairs that needs to be done. I'm able to have passive income still, because at the time at which I'm buying this property, I have my reserve for repairs. My CapEx repair budget is there. So when I have every repairs like HVAC, roof repair, I go to that bucket, I take it and I use it to do those forms of repair. And again, if a tenant leaves, it necessarily does not affect my income. So in that way, I'm able to pay my mortgage, pay all my repairs, and still have cash flow. And that cash flow can be used to reinvest in other deals. So for example, let's say I have a W2 and I'm investing passively in multifamily. I can decide that my W2 will take care of my daily needs. Then my passive income, I can keep accumulating it and use it to reinvest on another deal. So this is how you can generate wealth using multifamily as a channel to generating generational wealth for your kids and all that. Passive income is literally a way that you can use to keep reinvesting to get more equity. Other forms of assets might not be able to hedge inflation. So we saw that literally 3 years ago. Even with inflation, multifamily kept going high. We saw properties going very high. We saw rents going extremely off the roof. That was very beneficial for multifamily investors because they could increase rent because inflation allows for that. But the 401ks, the IRAs, and other forms of investment, stock exchange, we saw them going this way and that way. Just so volatile during those times when we had inflation, the COVID, the pandemic happening and all that. Those things really took a blow on investment. So multifamily is just a channel that helps you to hedge inflation. So the more inflation goes up, the more it can hedge inflation. Regardless of whether there's an announced, like when I mean announced inflation, like what we just saw, 9% inflation in 2023. I think it was in 2023 or 2022. Every year, you literally have to account for inflation. Regardless of how long your investment is, like 10 years, 5 years, your multifamily goes along with the inflation. It edges over it compared to other investment that might kill it. Like now we're hearing that 401ks literally might not survive because of the way inflation is really going up. It's really eating deep into those types of investments and all that. But for multifamily, people that bought houses 10 years ago, I'm sure they are smiling now because those properties have really gone up. Some of them have really paid down significant amount of what they owe and is giving them a good amount of equity. So this is one of the reasons why multifamily can be regarded as a channel to create generational wealth, because the more you grow or the more you have those properties, the more they become more valuable, and then you can transfer it to your kids. Another reason why multifamily is regarded as a channel for you to achieve financial freedom is because it gives you the ability to have something called estate planning and other forms of planning. I've discussed this in my previous video when I talked about wealth transfer, when I was talking about how you can transfer wealth to your children. I'm going to put it in the link below for you to watch that video and see how you can transfer wealth to your children. But literally what that is that with multifamily kind of investment, you can be able to transfer wealth, create an estate, have an estate planning whereby your kids can take advantage of it. So let me just say this, for example, if one was to die, you can transfer that in the form of a will or a trust to your kids, and if they're able to sell it within that year, they can pay no taxes on those properties. This is not to say that if the property has appreciated after the year of which that debt occurred, that they will not be paying taxes. No, this is within the year when the debt occurred. If they sell the property, they literally might not pay any taxes on it. So go to my video where I discussed about estate planning, how you can transfer wealth to your kids and to your family. Go and watch that video for you to see how you can build generational wealth and how you can literally transfer it to your kids and all that. So it's very important. Sustainability has been a very strong word for me. Since as a family we lost all our wealth after our dad died, I've seen it as a very important issue in an investing market, that it's not just about you acquiring wealth, but how you can sustain it and pass it on to your children. Now that's where the problem is. Passing it on to your children, it's another conversation that we should have. But if you want to know more about it, click on the link that I'm going to put in my bio for you to see how that works and how you can start planning your family. And remember, wealth should not end with you, but should start with you and continue to the next generation. In summary, the strategies for long-term wealth or building financial freedom is buy buy and hold appreciating assets like multifamily. So fix and flip strategy is good because it gives you a large chunk of money, but that is not the way to build wealth. So investing in long-term buy and hold investments are one of the ways you can build wealth. The second is investing in multifamily or commercial properties for scalability. So investing in single family is not also the best strategy for you to build wealth in investment, and because it's not scalable, you just do it one at a time. It's difficult for you to scale with it, but with multifamily it's very scalable. One investment can just be it for you, two of it can just be it for you, so it just depends. It's very scalable, and that is one way you can build financial wealth for the family. The third way is for you to use trust and asset LLCs for you to build protection and estate planning for your investment, because you don't also want to have this and you have to lose them, or you're not able to transfer them to your kids, because one of the reasons why we are doing this type of investment is not just for us, we want to also pass it on. So you need to have some form of protection, and using the trust is just a very good way for you to protect your assets and for you to transfer it easily and prevent unnecessary litigation from you. Because it's an asset protection, it's just for you to go through the channel of using a trust or an asset LLC. I recommend that you speak to a lawyer about this that is into asset protection. They will guide you on what to do and how to go about it. The fourth one, like I said, don't allow wealth creation end with you. It should start with you and continue to the next generation. So while you're investing, you also have the responsibility of educating your children. Yes, educating your children about wealth creation. Because if you do not do that, all the wealth you've acquired or accrued over time might just go down the drain because they don't know how to preserve your wealth. So apart from you creating wealth, you also have a big responsibility of passing on the education, teaching your children how to build wealth and also sustain it. Not just for them as well, they also need to train their children. So it's a long-term plan. Investing is not a short-term plan. It should start with you and continue to the next generation. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or if you're looking for a deal that you want to invest in, I'll also put the link in my bio. We have very incredible deals that you can become part of for you to invest in. Thank you all and have a wonderful week.